It is episode 11. On episode 10 we had a lot of fun, but then when I went to the highlighting tool in Twitch, I realized that the footage was super glitchy and like either my voice would cut out, the music would cut out, or maybe even the video would cut out, and at the very end like even the pixels like just started blurring together, and it was super chaotic. And then it was also glitching when I was trying to edit. I was trying to look at a certain clip to decide whether to cut it or not, and it wouldn't let me view it, and then if I would glitch my way into it to be able to view it. So it was a real big pain. This is probably gonna be one of the last times I use Twitch. I have found a editing software. I haven't used it yet, and so I'm planning. I don't even know if it takes Twitch highlights as an import thing, but I'm gonna try to use it for this video. So this video is either gonna be my first time editing, or it won't be my first time editing, and I'll realize that it doesn't allow imports from Twitch or something like that. So what else did I had to say something else. But anyway, yeah, I might stop streaming and find a recording software so I won't have to use Twitch to record, especially if Twitch keeps acting up. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Just went live. Kuduru. Did y'all know, fun fact, Kuduru is Kryle's name in Japanese, and somehow they got Kryle when they heard Kuduru, because that's her Japanese name. My dad speaks Japanese, and he prefers Japanese voice acting, so he listens to the Japanese version as he plays and tells me what they say in Japanese. He just texted me and said true. Okay. Let's get into it. We had a fun time, and hopefully it was just a weird bug on Twitch, but we will see. We will see. I hope you didn't mind us barging into your room for our late night feast. For what it's worth, it did me a world of good to put our troubles to one side, if only for a moment. Kryle and Grahatia were having a pleasant conversation until you barged in. Well, excuse me. Fine. I can tell when I'm not wanted. Just kidding, talk to me anyway. Oh, there you are, feeling refreshed, I hope. I was about to make my way to the studium as it happens. I wanted to try and speak with Scholar Montijane and thank him for coming to our rescue in the Rostra. As it turns out, he'd come here to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed for Thavner. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former students. I don't know what chew the cud means. Since we're still waiting for Y'shtola and the others, I thought now the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? My brain's slow today. I'm gonna pronounce a ton of things wrong that I'm just gonna be tripping up. Then settled. The twins will be coming soon, assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go on ahead to Fundamentals. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studium for a time. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. Okay. Man, I really hope it's not glitchy, because it really made me sad last time. Because I can put up with not getting to put captions on my videos, and I can put up with maybe slightly blurry video whatchamacallit, but I'm really disappointed that it was glitching parts of my video and audio out. Oh, that's so cool. If Father can master these fiendish contraptions, then so can I. That's really cool that he's not just standing there, he's actually doing something. Heading out for a stroll. Yep. The scholar himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphino, of all people, worrying over his reputation, and at our alma mater, no less, will wonders never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Into the wild blue yonder. Oh yeah, I was also gonna say that I was getting a that the reason why I want to find a recording thing and stop using Twitch is because whatchamacallit, my longer projects, like if I ever decided to, I have a video idea that I've had for a while before I started this, like what if I did this and made it into a video, but it would take months of footage of me doing it, and so like, and I can't like, and live things only last for so long, and I don't want to live stream just for 5 seconds for a clip, so I want a recording thing so I can do what I want to do. Anyway, also my problem with the Twitch highlighter tool is that I'm like that kid in the classroom when you're highlighting the important stuff of the text. I'm the one that can't decide what's more important, so I'm just highlighting like the whole thing. That's basically what I do with the Twitch highlighting tool. It feels like only yesterday that I first walked through these doors. See that sculpted picture above the entrance? No. That's the mark of Thaliac, the scholar, bearer of the waters of knowledge. It's no exaggeration to say that Charlayan itself is one enormous shrine to him, and that's especially noticeable here in the studium. I don't see the picture. Oh, I see it now. Very nice. Here it is, Phenomenon. While I expect you made note of it before, one can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? No, it was kind of official last time we came. While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. As the center of what would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of aetherological phenomena, hence the name. Though, with aether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life, and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th astral era, Phenomenon was decreed complete and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority in aetherology, the arcane, the occult, astromancy, and countless other fields, standing proud as, and he's gonna get interrupted, Charlayan's foremost educational institute. You always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same foppish speech, such is his undying love for his old stamping ground. He was in top form back then, youngest to enter the studium, graduated with highest honors in magical arts and aetherology, undisputed champion of the the debating chamber. He's gonna get all flustered. Hold on, you both joined the studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphino actually entered half a year before me, nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors, and I am certainly not the studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects have I ever been in his shadow. If nothing else, I just remember that this was where the legend of Alphino Levier began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we are at the last stand. I know more than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alphino, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholark Montaigne. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wheresoever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. Are we gonna go to... Okay, we're going inside. Hello! That was Alphino Levier, wasn't it? The Alphino Levier! And he's with his sister and Master Baldacian's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. An event of epoch-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word. Yes, sir! Have you seen what's-his-name? Oh, sorry. You said you were looking for the Scholark, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere, but Miss Alia Poe should have a better idea. Things were bad enough during our school days, and Alphino's time abroad has only heightened his fame, or should that be infamy? He had his rivals and detractors, of course, though most of them gave that up after his adoring fans set upon them like ravenous dogs. Alphino, on the other hand, never paid them much notice. They were simply beneath him. Lol. Oh yeah, I don't know if I did this on stream, but I walked around here. No, I wasn't on stream. And I explored around here and saw a lot of people grouped up for one cutscene in one of the classrooms. I bet we're almost there. Ooh, yellow tree. Are you lost, wanderer off the street, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly me. An orientation is in order. Ahem, allow me to bid you a warm welcome to the Searcher's Meet. Let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studium? That's right, books. And what's the second most important? Why, it's simple, everything else. That's what we deal in here at Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Cassia, tongue of giant toad, that it's enough to make your hair stand on end, which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being the school of magic and all. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. Oh, it's a pun! Yes! Oh, and I've tracked down many things. Hahaha. Yes, I am. I beg your pudding? You're not a gleaner? She's begging my pudding. Then this was all an elaborate ruse. No, wait, come to think of it, you never actually claimed to be one in the first place. My mistake. She's really pretty. He was here, but no, he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios. Not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. Ha! The time it's taken me to tell you all this, the Scholar has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I've a feeling you'll need it. Wow. Thank you. Hinageshi. Darn it. Hello, level-headed student. Yes, the Scholar here was a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning on going next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps to one of the auditoriums? Thank you. Oh hey, Kryle. Unsurprisingly, the Scholar is not in his office. I did, however, speak with one student who saw him not long ago, so he can't have gone far. Okay. I'm not paying attention to where I'm going. I should probably do that. Okay. I was right. Oh, there we go. See, I told you there was a lot of people in this classroom for cutscene. Hello. Don't worry, I'm not here to kill you.
I remember you.
I remember you too, man.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye.
He almost cried because we were arrested.
You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Montoya's prize student.
Oh, that
Luckily,
guy.
I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
Thank him.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried.
I knew it. There's a curse or spell that's keeping them from
Our
telling me.
duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
Okay.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
Okay. I'm gonna tab out real quick. Hi lol, editing Nos from the future here. After I come back here in a second, I'll do sound check, then accidentally mute. Sound check. Sound check. Okay.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two are of the incorporeal sort, the soul and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Okay, so I was muted by now, but my reasoning was corporeal ether just because it's the opposite of incorporeal. There you go.
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The 7th Umbral Calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Charlian prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace?
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable. Well, I think that's enough education for today. Now that I've given you some food for thought, or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Okay, since I'm muted, I'm just gonna record my voice reading over, yeah, I'm just gonna, yeah. While Scholark Montijain is best known for his role as head of the studium, he is said to be one of the finest mages Sharlayan has ever produced. Having seen for myself the ease which he weaves extraordinarily complex magics, I have no reason to doubt the claim. Some of my earliest memories are of Scholark Montijain. Actually, he was a close friend of our grandfather. He would come for tea and amaze us with his tricks, much like his demonstration with the paper and ink. He's a huge part of why I wanted to enter the studium in the first place. Kra was still digesting a rather heavy portion of food for thought. Well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the form's true motives and the mystery of life, for good measure. Mysteries of life. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the annex. Perhaps on the way, you could better acquaint yourself with Eliapo, as the scholar suggested, while I share our findings with Raha. The hard part is that the text is sometimes blurry. Oh, watch this, watch this. Transition. Having spent most of the time in Thavnair, I've yet to fully grasp the land of here in Charlaine. Even finding my way to the Annex proved a challenge. Thank you, Estinian. Also no. Estinian returned not long after we departed for the stadium. A shame that he missed a chance to attend our lecture with a scholar, or perhaps not. You'd better not let your guard down around Key. One small favor becomes another, then another, and before you know it, you'll be scurrying to the other side of the world in search of a bottle of wine or some other rubbish. Then again, it might make for a welcome change of pace from your usual heroics, and as the scholar said, it could lead to interesting discoveries. It seems I have done an adequate job of relaying Scholar Montijane's lecture to Raha. Given his experience in the field of souls and memories, he had no trouble understanding it. Well, that makes sense. Raha. Ah, welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studio proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow Scions. As expected, news of the warding skills was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Estinian Alliance, an Eastern Alliance, together to determine a way forward. Ooh, this is hard. Okay. Our friends have asked that we bring scales in our possession to Limsa. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive? It's too early to say for certain, but it does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilbrand. I think I tripped up when I was reading this in the original recording. That's why it's taking forever. Did I tab out? I think I tabbed out. Okay, and then when I came back, I realized. That I had been on mute, and then I fixed it. Luckily. Well, I just realized I was muted for who knows how long. That's fun. Why is life so hard? I feel like crying because I ate that chocolate. Every time I've had chocolate, I've felt like crying later. Okay. Carl says, let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? Because Kryle actually has a crush on Estinian. Yeah, she do. In Japanese, she flirts.
Just sweet voice.
She does.
She has a sweet personality.
Yeah. Whew, I didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Vitra and the alchemists of the great work put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales, so we must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape from the Forum's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind. We were already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as our official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn, I can feel it. Tilim Silimensa. I used to think it was Lim Silimensa. That's Lim Silimensa. Hey, come on. If you learn naught of interest, be sure to let me know. In the meantime, I will do what I can to aid our cause, though I fear that will be precious little given circumstances. Let's take the boat, people. Boga. The shape of the port keeps any larger ships from coming in, which means we have to use smaller vessels. Of course, this means more trips and time wasted unpacking and reloading. It really is quite a hassle. Oh, remember a couple of streams ago when I thought this was a sundial? It's a lamp. Oh, the lag. The lag. It's okay, we must sprint through it. Avert your eyes. My apologies for calling you away from Charlene at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. 'Twas only right that this discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. And it is reassuring to learn that we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on the warding skills and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Charlene, the Allied nations, have been engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge in abductions of kobolds, Sahagan, Ixal, and Ananta have given rise to an increasing number of the primals as well. But your triumph in Radzat Han has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace, and it is you, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Tilafroy at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. The brave few will be the Ilsabard contingent. To think such progress has been made in so short a span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered. Robbed of their free will, they serve as the Tilafroy's every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I ask only that in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that, there can be no reconciliation. only death without end. On that we can all agree, our second objective is the colossal tower that Tancred and Uyange observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there's reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what is yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we'd failed to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Talafroi. They're certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager the Spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Yishtol's analysis of the tower's influence on ethereal currents. Based on her observations inside the Tower of Zot, the Spires siphon aether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of aether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it's not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me if at least it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. Well, the additional aether is probably used to be like creating that monster that's using the human limbs that we found in that one tower. That's all well and good, but what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. The light went out of the room. We want you and your scales to join Ilsebard contingent. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? But what did they want us to do? Perhaps you should be the one to answer. What did they want us to do? Sorry. They said, we want you and your scales to join the Ilsebard contingent. Well, duh. I'm not revenge based. I forgot who that was. Okay. Couldn't have put it better myself. Yshtola, Thancred, and Uyange have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once we have delivered the warding scales to Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Ilsebard. Raban and Lord Amaric are overseeing the preparations, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs, and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Talafroi so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go. Safe in the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. That was a cutscene. I should really only stream when I'm in a really good mood. I'm sleepy. Hope you can't hear my dad snoring in the background. Alize. No wait, I didn't talk to them beforehand. The Wanderers return. You've been busy bringing down a tower and producing the keys and to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those hoarding skills of yours are what made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Amaric be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Ilsabard contingent. The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid unto the Garleans has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. Sadly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side charging into the fray. Alas, I've battles of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. I hate to say it, but Lord Amaric's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Ilsabard, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. It's probably Cordola or the other guy. Oh, that guy. Word of your exploits travels quickly. From what I gather, the protective talismans you obtained led the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. So you're not coming with us. Strange. I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. The Dotolafroi have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every emote of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varus and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel with the Ilsabard contingent, I would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me into a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I am branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. I forgot what Garlean soil is. Garlean. I think that's Imperial stuff, right? I don't want to make it be about me. We will deliver your people from harm in your stead. We got this for you, man. For what it is worth, you have my gratitude. You and your comrades have the strength and courage to deliver my countrymen, I am sure of it. In light of Gaius' rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two. And if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you, all of you. No, we're declining that because I wanted to speak to the NPCs before the cutscene. Like Alize. You know, I'm quite looking forward to seeing who's been selected for the Ilsabard contingent. I have a few people in mind. Care to make a friendly wager? I must quiz Thancred and Urianger on the conditions we can expect in Garlemald. I know it's cold, but how cold? Will I need to keep my ears covered? They can be a bit sensitive at times. Yeah, he did wear a hood a lot. I'll admit, this is all rather daunting, though not quite in the way I was expecting. We'll be standing shoulder to shoulder with our alliance's finest, the best of the best, the warrior of light, and well, me. It's silly, I know. Perhaps this is my way of distracting myself from the part I should be worried about, marching into Garlemald. If Emmerich asks after me, say I'm getting on fine and leave it at that. Don't you dare breathe a word about the cord. Like the cord in his hair? Emmerich asks after me, say I'm getting on fine and leave it at that. Don't you dare breathe a word about the cord. Like his ponytail? He doesn't want Emmerich knowing. Well, he can kinda see you. Hey, Mom. I'm playing a video game. I will try. Mom told me not to die, so I guess I'm not doing that today. Ah, fancy meeting you here. I trust our mutual friend is settling into life as a scion. Collaboration never was his forte. The moment the fighting ended, off he'd go like a gale cat swept up in a strong breeze. Rest assured, he will always be there when you need him, probably. Why are they talking to each other like they're not in front of each other, but they are? Anyway, we already saw this cutscene, so let's skip that crap. No, I return to my duties here now. Of our most killed, we who remain will have to fight much harder to make up the difference. But I do not welcome the challenge. This old bull isn't ready to his horns yet. Oh well, everybody's things changed. Like Gaius, I too stand accused of Varus's murder, though I am rather less recognizable on sight. Still, it's something to bear in mind once we read. I neglected to mention earlier that we have received a report from our troops that may be of interest to you. The lunar primal, a great worm, swooped down from the skies and came to their aid. As described was a spitting image of Tiamat. It would seem she too continues to wage war against the Tlafroi. So that's Gaius Balzar. The horrors he must have seen, many of his own making, I do not doubt. Aww. Alpha no. With the knowledge that our allies will hold the line in our absence, we may devote our attention to the Ilsbardian front. I suppose it's easy for some people to forget that there are civilians in Garlemald too, when the only Imperials they've ever known are soldiers. I think we've talked to everyone. Oh, Gaius. Regardless of how my countrymen receive you, the cold will not treat you kindly. Underestimate it at your peril. Alright. We have about 30 minutes left, but I'm not feeling too well today, so we're ending stream, and hopefully the recording isn't all botched up, and I will try to find an editing software. I did, but I don't think I'm gonna get it. Darn it. It's hard. It's really hard. But I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out if I really try. If I try really, really hard. Anyway, I'm gonna end stream and do some crap and then... yeah. Anyway, hope you have a nice day.